So happy 420 week and happy 420.
Yay!
So exciting. For us in Colorado, it is like every single holiday you can possibly imagine wrapped into one day, and we go all out and just have the biggest celebration of our lives. So there's so much happening. I have like a whole list here from Cannabis Calendar. It's an organization where you can get emails sent to you, and it has each week all the 420 events that are going on and all the industry events, and it's like all in one email. So it's really nice that Cannabis Calendar does that. So that's what I'm looking at here. The very first event that I'm going to be going to kick off 420 is Scentsy Night, and we're doing like a pre-420 party. So it's happening this Friday. And we've rented out City Hall, which is a massive, massive venue, and it has multiple layers to it, and we usually go all the way to capacity. We really fill up the whole thing, and so that's going to be the first thing to kick off the celebration. But then on Saturday, I'm really excited because I'm going to they're calling it, let me pull it up here so I make sure I say it all right. They're calling it the Grow Safety Symposium, and it's hosted by Denver NORML. So they have a whole list of speakers that day, of people from every background, like people that are really versed in Rick Simpson oil and making your own extracts, and people that are really well versed in nutrients and grow equipment and lighting and just everything that has to do with cultivating your own cannabis. So they're actually offering that as a free event on Saturday, which I cannot believe it's free. I'm going to attend it, and I'm so excited to soak up all of this knowledge and, learn from all these professionals. So next, there is also, let's see, I'm doing starting on Monday for the Colorado Cannabis Tours, which actually they just changed the name to Cannabis Tours. So that tells me that they're prepping to go national, which is very exciting.
Wow.
Yeah, so we have a lot of bookings going on next week. So what we're going to do is we're just going to do like a lot of tours starting on Monday all the way through Saturday. And I'm going to be working pretty much every single day giving a tour. But I do have Friday off, which will be nice right after 420. And so on Monday, I'm going to do like a little bit of a half tour and then do my full tours the rest of the week. And then on actual 420 will be 420 on the block, which is probably the very largest party that's happening in Colorado. It's very massive. I'm going to read to you what all it includes. So just by getting a wristband to 420 on the block, you get into 6 venues. You get access to 40 artists, 35 vendors, 5 food trucks, 12 stages. There's live art, there's comedians, and there are 10 consumption buses that are going to line the block. So there's going to be 10 party buses where you can go in and smoke and dab until your heart is content with all these other people having a great time. And it's going to go all the way until like, I think 2 a.m. So it starts on 420, like time 4:20 p.m. on 420 and goes until 2 a.m.
Just buying that bracelet, is it kind of just access, or do you actually get some product too?
You get access, and basically if you hop onto the consumption bus, they always have so much ganja. They have so much concentrates, people are passing around joints. So, I mean, the idea is you want to come prepared to something like this. Like, you should probably put some items in your bag just to make sure you are covered. But for the most part, everyone's carrying something on them. And it's the stoner culture. Everyone's very friendly and very open, and they want to smoke with you. So you can usually hop on a bus and you'll have at least 5 people try to hand you something right when you hop on the bus. So you can bring your own, but you'd also probably find just showing up. But you always want to bring a little bit to the party just to contribute. So every single year they do the 420 rally, which is where everyone goes to Civic Park, I believe it is. Let me double check here. Yeah, it's Civic Center Park, which is like in the heart of Denver. And it's been happening for a lot of years. I know it's been happening ever since I've been here. It's been happening way before I was even here. And it's just kind of a community event that's totally free. And it's not even like necessarily organized or anything. You pretty much just show up to the park and everyone celebrates the plant all day long. You enjoy the beautiful Denver scenery. you talk with like-minded people, and you're basically, the idea of it is to just like everyone be out in public, just kind of normalizing the cannabis culture and showing the many faces of the people that like to enjoy cannabis. So it's a really interesting event because, you know, technically, like, public consumption like that is not legal, but it's one of those things that for 420, we're kind of like the police officers and enforcement, they're kind of like our friends during that time. And they basically respect that if you're keeping to yourself and you're not causing a scene and, you know, you're just being respectful and minding your own business at the park, they're pretty much not going to mess with you. If they see you like overtly like doing some sort of exchange, like maybe you're trying to sell cannabis or something, they'll interfere. But for the most part, they kind of just, they all line up around the park just to make sure everything stays safe. And they really leave us to it. So it's kind of cool because everyone will straight up like light up at the exact same time at 420 on Saturday at the park. And you just see a whole cloud of smoke like fill the park of like thousands of people. So it's a pretty cool community feeling. And it's very like liberating to be doing it in a park like that when like police officers are right there.
How interesting. Yeah.
It is interesting. One of my good friends, Aaron, he has a YouTube channel, and last year he like drugged me out to the park. He's like, we have got to get to this park. And I was like, all right. And I like finished up whatever I was doing. I hurried up and grabbed a fanny pack and like packed it all up, headed to the park, and he did like a little YouTube video of it. So I should share that with you because I think you would like it. It kind of depicts what it really looks like when you're at the park on 420. Yeah. Oh, a really cool thing that I think Jordan from Denver NORML organized is after all of these events and after we all go have our fun, she organized a cleanup day. So on April 22nd, the community's all going to go out. They're all going to clean up all the parks. They're going to clean up all the areas where we've had gatherings and just do our part to be respectful to the great earth that we walk on. I know they're starting that, I think, at like 10 a.m. on Saturday, April 22nd, and I will already be giving a tour at that time. So I will not be able to be there, but I will also, you know, be respectful of my earth and pick up after myself if I do go to the park.
Nice. Which one are you going to? All of these events, or which events are you actually going to?
The main ones that I'm doing are 420 on the block for sure. I'm doing the grow, I always say this wrong, Symposium, the Grow Symposium. I'm going to that. And then, I also forgot to mention I am going to do the 420 Bend and Blaze session, Ooh. Which I'm super excited about. So we're all going to get together. We're doing it on April 19th, right before 420. And we're all going to do it. It's at a Cultivated Synergy, which is a really awesome organization that allows or other kind of like businesses to operate there as an office. And it's also consumption friendly. So you can have like meetings there, you can operate business there, and it's open for consumption there. So we're going to go there on April 19th, and we're going to have like a Bend and Blaze session, which is exactly what it sounds like. We're going to bend and we're going to blaze, and it's going to be great. And I'm sure we'll have a really big turnout that day of yogis. So I'm looking forward to that. Something else that's happening really wild on 420 is the very first ever cannabis church is opening on 420 here in Denver. Wow. So yeah, it's pretty wild, but they're in like 113-year-old building that's been a church before. And then it, hasn't been being used for a while. And this group came and they're starting their own cannabis church, and they're calling it the International Church of Cannabis is what they're calling it. And they call themselves, it says that, this church building in Denver has found a higher calling, which is really funny. And it's going to open its doors on 420. It's on Logan Street, and it's the headquarters of Elevation Ministry. It's a nonprofit religious organization, and it claims cannabis as its primary sacrament. And basically what they're saying is they call themselves elevationists, and they're trying to basically create the best versions of themselves, and they feel like cannabis goes very hand in hand in that, and that's kind of what they practice there and what they talk about there, and have like a whole sense of community with that as its core values, like reaching your best self and your highest consciousness.
Do you have a product or business you want to share? We want to know what you have to say. Leave us a comment on our website at thethhcfoodie.com or on Twitter at SafeTHCFoods.